They're going ahead despite what you say and despite what anybody says. And I think that we need to stop them, and I think that perhaps we need to consider removing their status and replacing them with something else that works better in the 20th century.
And as far as everyone's time here, it was well spent. You know, we thank you. We appreciate everyone for coming out. It's part of the process, and we're moving forward.
And as a board, we had a good idea, Melanie, that the Water Authority could put the water main in without our approval. We had no idea that they would until just now when you found out ourselves. So,
That's reassuring.
so you found out the same time we did.
We certainly had plenty of strategy discussions on should that be a scenario. Their intentions wasn't, you know, we didn't get into that. We know what the options are, and we're looking at all of our options. Can I just ask anybody that would like to address the issue with regard to the public hearing? Please. I'm going to go to the people that haven't spoken yet, and then we'll...
Joan Turturro, I have one question. Can you ask the gentleman from the Water Authority if they're going to go ahead and put in a pipe no matter what happens if nobody hooks into it?
Well, that's why I'd asked weeks ago to canvass the community, the very community you purport to service with a 12-inch main. Go out and ask the community if there's any interest in it. A public benefit corporation ought to...
And all the other people who already hooked up are going to pay for it.
Can I just...
Really?
All right, Steve, we'll ask you that question.
But he said he had 30 people that agreed to hook up, right?
Yeah, 30.
You might have had any
They
agreed
split
to
that.
somewhere interesting.
Split that cost 30 ways. It's about $100,000 a house.
You're doing good. You can get 500 signatures.
Yeah, Reggie, do you want to speak? And then I'll go to you.
But I'm sure I could go door to door in Orient. I'll bet you I could get 500 or 600 signatures. For against it. Okay. And second of all, I think we have a lot of lawyers in town.
That could be a bad thing.
We can sit down, and if they got 50 lawyers, we could give them, divide and conquer, get them going 50 different ways. Because as long as each guy is going to take up a suit against them, okay, we'll let them spend their money to defend themselves.
Let's...
If you're going to be as ruthless as those people are, as they are tonight, I think they have to get flipped.
Let's talk about strategies if and when we need to get there. Would you please go?
Hi, my name is Bill Ryle, and I live in Browns Hills. And for many of you, it seems you may not be aware, there's already litigation which residents of Browns Hills and other residents of Orient brought against the Water Authority. And I think it would be fair to say that were it not for that litigation, we would not be sitting here tonight. We'd be probably looking at the cleanup operation after the well had already been put in the ground. One thing which the litigation accomplished, which I'm not sure that was even the intention, is that it raised a ruckus in Albany, and the money has been delayed to pay for this. At least the federal stimulus money has been delayed. Now, of course, we've been told it doesn't matter about that anyway, but if this water line was such a good idea with the money, I wonder why it wasn't such a good idea before this free money showed up. The other thing is that people are talking about 700 people to use this 12-inch water line. I think it's actually sized for up to 1,000 users. So it's everybody plus a few hundred more in Orient who could potentially be using this water line. The application for the federal money was for bringing a 12-inch pipeline to serve Browns Hills, plus whoever else immediately adjacent to the line wanted it, if they already had a well and wanted to connect to the line. So really, Browns Hills is 23 houses, so I don't know the math, the arithmetic here, but what was it? Over $150,000 per house of taxpayers' money to Browns Hills. So obviously, we knew the whole thing was a fraud, a lie to begin with, And certainly, money would never be spent for 23 houses that way. And I'm not sure this is relevant, but there are only 5 houses that are full-time residents out there anyway. We're talking about second homes for most people, vacation houses, federal money spent for that. This has been known in this town for a year, and now we're talking about this tonight. So now, on a smaller technical matter,